Hi, I'm Michael and welcome to Tamenuri studio. Today I will show you next steps of working on Sailor 1 1911 large, and this time it's getting slightly more interesting than all the previous steps because I will be applying gold on the pen. Here is the original untouched for now Sailor 1911 large. This one is with a zoom nib. The other one was with fine or hard fine or something like that. I don't remember. It really doesn't matter because I can switch nibs easily. And on my Instagram or on previous movies, I showed you disassembly of this pen and some other pens too. So here we have the section. Here is the finial of the cup, so it's like this. Here is the cup itself, and here is the body of the pen, and they are lacquered with right now with something like 15 to 18 layers of urushi, and those final layers were black, and it was Kuroroiro urushi, and right now I'm going to apply first layers of gold on them. I will use Kijiro urushi to make the gold stick to the pen, and it will be applied with, not with the brush, maybe in some parts of this pen it will be, the brush will be used, but only in several of them, and most of it will be applied with a mavata and some lint-free cloth. Okay, usually I do filter urushi in such steps. This urushi is very high quality, and I need just a little bit of it, but still I will filter it. It's better to assume that it's not perfect, so I will filter some Kijiro urushi. This is high quality Kijiro from Watanabe Shoten. As I said, I just need just a little bit. I will probably use the rest of it to some other project today. Okay. For filtering urushi, you use Yoshino paper, and everything depends on amount of urushi you need to filter, on type of urushi, is it with pigment or not. So sometimes I just use a little bit, just one piece, one layer of paper folded once, and it's enough. But in many cases I use up to 10 layers of paper, and it's much more complicated to filter out everything, and you have to work in really clean environment, so all the pieces of dust flying around would not be acceptable. I use mavata and some lint-free cloth. I put mavata. Mavata is a silk cotton. How absurd it may sound, but it's silk. Strands of silk. I make something like that with mavata and this. Okay, but before I can start lacquering, I should clean the surface of the pen just to make it's not greased in any way. Even touching the surface of the pen with your fingers may transfer some grease from the fingers. Even the tiny amount of this grease will destroy your efforts. So let's clean it. There's one step I discovered recently. There is a kind of a sticky, like a, I don't know how to call it. It's like a plastiline or something like that, like a Play-Doh. But it's used by people who renovate art, and it does not stick to anything. It just picks up anything, any dirt, any mold, any even grease from the surface. It can even pick dirt from paper, not destroying the paper itself or not leaving anything behind. So I use it to pick the last possible pieces of lint from the surface I'm going to lacquer, and it works like a charm. It's made, I think, by the same company who makes the Renaissance wax and stuff like this. So I will put it in the description below. It never leaves anything on the surface. It's very sticky, and at the same time it does not leave anything behind. Once it's dirty, you just work it, fold it, work it, and it's like new again. And the cup. And we are ready to go. Okay, so I will start with the cup. Today we'll be applying gold in leaves and in flakes. The first layer will be quite extensively covered with gold. We do not need a lot of it on the surface. We just need to get the gold to stick, and that's it. See, there is some lint. I will pick it up in a moment. Or maybe we'll change the tool to something more predictable. This layer of urushi acts only as a glue. So, and as gold leaves are very elastic and pliable, and they will stick to just a tiny amount of it on the surface. It will be probably very boring if I show you every part, so I will speed up this part a little bit after this one. Okay. This gold is transfer gold, so the leaves of gold are glued, maybe not glued, but sticked to the transfer paper. So I can use it this way. I want to be at least a little bit random, so I'm changing the directions and the way I touch the surface of the pen to the gold. trying to use all those small pieces too. As you know, gold is quite expensive, even in such a thin form. But actually any metal, any precious metal, even silver, which is much less expensive than gold in a solid form, the form of leaves becomes much more expensive, and you need to think how you use it and effectively. Okay, I will use the brush for making sure the gold sticks to the surface. I do not want all surface of the pen covered with gold because it's a part of the design, so I will apply several layers of gold, probably different size pieces in each subsequent layer, and this here is enough for this layer. Once it will dry, it will cure, I will remove the loose pieces of gold from the surface. So let's move on to the next part. And that's it. So from this to this, and it's just an intermediary step. To cure this layer, I will put it in the furrow for with a very low humidity. Initially it will be around 60 degrees, 60% of relative humidity. And after 2 or 3 hours I will check the surface. I will push down with another softer brush the gold in the areas there I could suspect it will not stick properly. But what is interesting, the gold does let the air in and out and humidity in and out, because it does not create absolutely perfect sealed surface, but it has a lot of tiny holes, tiny cracks in it, because this gold is so thin that it's several square meters of this gold wave below 1 gram. So I think, as far as I remember, it's like 18 square meters of these gold waves, 1 gram. Okay, so let's put it off in the furrow, and let's see in one of the future videos how it will look like. So please subscribe and like and share this video to make sure that everyone could be interested in this technique, or in Sailor 1911 large in a unique form, to see it. Thank you. See you. Bye.